الرحيم الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونتوب إليه. تقبل الله صيامنا وصيامكم وقيامنا وقيامكم وتلاوتنا للقرآن وتلاوتكم وصدقاتنا وصدقاتكم. Ameen Ya Rabbil Alameen. Dear brothers and sisters, welcome back to a new video, Ramadan Pearls. Today, Insha'Allah, we're going to talk about a very important topic, which is how fasting softens the heart and affects on spirituality. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, وَأَنِ اعْبُدُونِي هَذَا صِرَاطٌ مُسْتَقِيمٌ, and that you worship me, this is a straight path. This verse highlights the centrality of worship in Islam, which leads to the softening of the heart. Fasting is a key component of this worship, and it plays a crucial role in purifying the heart and drawing closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When fasting is done with sincerity, it softens the heart, making it more receptive to Allah's guidance. The heart in Islamic spirituality is not just the physical organ, but the center of emotions, intellect, and will. Imam al-Ghazali explains in his book, Ihya Ulum al-Din, that the heart is often hardened by the distractions of worldly desires and sins. Fasting, by its nature, is a powerful tool for softening the heart because it removes the physical indulgences, allowing the soul to become more focused on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Fasting is not only about abstaining from food and drink, but also from the desires that distract the heart from Allah. Imam al-Ghazali as well states, fasting is a shield for the soul, guarding it from harmful effects of worldly indulgences and helping it remain focused on Allah. But withholding from food, drink, and other worldly comforts, the heart is given the space to reflect, connect, and renew its relationship with Allah. This leads to spiritual nourishment that softens the heart, making it more responsive to Allah's commands. Taqwa is the foundation of a soft heart, and fasting nurtures this quality. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ, O you who have believed, decreed upon you fasting. Fasting is prescribed to help us to develop taqwa, which in turn softens the heart. By fasting, we become more conscious of our actions, words, and even thoughts, knowing that they are being observed by Allah. This heightened sense of awareness leads to softened heart that is more sensitive to Allah's guidance. Fasting has a transformative effect on a believer's spirituality. Imam al-Ghazali mentions that fasting purifies the soul, removing its attachment to worldly pleasures and opening it up to a deeper connection with Allah. When the heart becomes detached from material desires, it is able to focus entirely on spiritual pursuits, such as prayer, reflection, and seeking Allah's forgiveness. The Salaf, may Allah have mercy on them, experienced profound spiritual effect through fasting. Imam Ibn Rajab, may Allah have mercy on him, wrote in his great book Lata'if al-Ma'arif that the companions of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, used to be very cautious about their hearts during Ramadan. They recognized that fasting not only purified the body but also softened the heart, making it more receptive to Allah's mercy. One famous example is the story of Umar ibn al-Khattab, may Allah be pleased with him, who would often weep during his prayers, especially in Ramadan, because of the softness and fear of Allah in his heart. Fasting played a significant role in cultivating this deep connection with Allah and humility in the heart. Fasting has a humbling effect on the heart. When a person fasts, they experience hunger, thirst, and weakness, which are constant reminders of their dependence on Allah. Imam al-Ghazali as well says, fasting teaches humility as it strips the individual of their reliance on food and drink and reminds them of their vulnerability before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This humility, dear brothers and sisters, is crucial for the heart, to soften and become more open to Allah's guidance. When we fast, dear brothers and sisters, we are reminded of the fragility of the body, which in turn reminds us of our need for Allah's mercy. One of the greatest challenges a believer faces in the hardness of the heart, which can occur due to persistent sins, distractions, and neglect of worship. Imam al-Ghazali warns that the heart becomes hardened when a person consistently indulges in worldly pleasures and neglects spiritual practices. Fasting acts a remedy for this condition, breaking the attachment to worldly desires and opening the heart to spiritual reflection. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran about this, فَبِمَا نَقْضِهِمْ مِيثَاقَهُمْ لَعَنَّاهُمْ وَجَعَلْنَا قُلُوبَهُمْ قَاسِيَةً. But for breaking their covenant, we condemned them and hardened their hearts. Fasting acts as a tool to soften the heart, dear brothers and sisters, restoring it to its original state of receptiveness to Allah's mercy. In today's fast-paced world, dear brothers and sisters, we are consistently exposed to distraction that can harden our hearts, such as excessive consumption of material goods, technology, and entertainment. Fasting offers a powerful means to reconnect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and revive our spiritual state. Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen, may Allah have mercy on him, said, the month of Ramadan is a golden opportunity to soften the heart and return to Allah with sincerity. This reflection encourages us to use fasting as a spiritual tool to remove the barrier between us and Allah and to renew our commitment to humility, sincerity, and devotion. Today's practical guidance and tips from this lesson, dear brothers and sisters. Number one, reflect on the purpose of fasting. Recognize that fasting is not just a physical act of abstention, but a spiritual one that helps soften the heart and increase God consciousness. We have to remove distraction. Use the time during fasting to disconnect from distractions that harden the heart, such as excessive entertainment, social media, or material pursuits. Increase worship and reflection during Ramadan. Make a conscious effort to increase your acts of worship, such as prayer, Quranic recitation, and dhikr, which nurture the softness of the heart. Maintain humility. Fasting humbles us. Use this reminder of your dependence on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to develop greater humility in your daily life. Seek forgiveness and mercy. Seek forgiveness and mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Use fasting as a time to seek Allah's forgiveness and mercy for past sins and ask Him to purify your heart and make it soft and receptive to His guidance. May Allah guide us and you to the right path. May Allah accept our fasting, our prayer, our dua, all the acts of worship that we are performing in this blessed month. Ameen Ya Rabbil Alameen. See you in another video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.